So the overall life cycle for a UDP UDP communication, is that the different processes on the different host machines, they call getOutInfo to set up the kind, to figure out the address and the kind of socket they want to make. Then they make a socket, then they bind it to an address, and then they can start sending messages back and forth to each other. And eventually, when they get tired of that, they call close to close out the socket. So this is the same close that works on file descriptors, but close also works on sockets. Now in this picture, I'm imagining that these two machines know each other's name and know each other's port number for whatever reason. Another possibility is that this process knows the name of this other one and doesn't really care to be contacted except in response to its messages. So bind is optional with UDP as long as the first thing you do is something like a send to. So if you do a send to first without a binding, then the kernel will just pick a suitable port for that socket. It already knows the host or the network interface that should be relevant based on when you created the socket. And when it picks a port, it'll pick it in a certain range. The higher numbers towards 65,000. That's called the ephemeral port range. Right? Ephemeral port because no one else knew what this port number was going to be in advance, and it'll go away soon. But it's a way that that this can start communicating. And the reason that this process will be able to communicate back is when it receives a message, it'll have the where did that message come from in it. Receive from tells you both the data that was sent as a particular UDP message and also the address where it came from. On the other hand, if you already know the address or you don't care about it for whatever reason, when you're receiving a message, you can use the simpler receive function, or RECV, pronounced receive, of course.